Okay. Okay. We have a character sheet.
We do. It's very exciting.
I made a basic one. There's a link for it. If you want to get one, you can copy it. And it should be copyable. And you can play with it. How do we do it? You click here. There's your stats. Here's your magic. Stat or skills. Write your skill name. Select the stat that it's for. Give it a value. That's it. That's all. If you do something wrong, it'll give you a little red. Oh no, it has to be. So I've even got guards and everything. Taken care of. News? Do we have news? I think there was a little bit of news to start with. Coffee makes you live longer. Board posted this one I wanted to quickly talk about. Ubisoft delaying the Prince of Persia Sands of Time to the point where it's been delisted from release. And they're doing this after initial pre-sales.
Oh, they were selling it already? What the fuck?
So they're saying if you've already paid for it, you can contact the seller and get your money back. But how do we, it's good that it's delayed, and I'm glad to see them delaying it even though it's being sold in order to keep it in a good state, which you don't see very often. Usually it's just rushed out the door and sold and then fixed. Sorry, you bought a piece of shit. We'll fix it later. I thought there was laws that could get them in trouble on this one, and I'm not sure how I feel about it, but they shouldn't have been selling it in the first place. Hey, Nariel.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with them pulling it. That part, I actually encourage. If your game isn't ready, don't have it on a store. But if they're going to be taking money and they're just leaving it up to the vendor to then be like, okay, yeah, I guess we'll give you your money back or not, depending on how consumer friendly they're being, that's a dick move. Shouldn't have been selling it. Just list it with no option to pre-order.
Yeah. The only other thing I'm seeing in the more recent times is China made a drone mothership. Interesting idea. It's a carrier that has 50 different drones on it. And it can charge the drones and launch the drones.
Which is really neat from a technology perspective, but also terrifying.
It's not necessarily military type drones. It's all different types. Yeah, but it's not. But the initial versions that they're showing and releasing is a lot of exploration. It's some air, but they also have underwater and sea surface stuff that can all work in conjunction and relay data back together. And very, very cool application. Very cool application.
Yeah, really cool application of technology. Please don't put guns on it. In other more better news, RE4 remake confirmed.
Yes.
Coming next year.
Yes.
That's fantastic. I'm really looking forward to that.
Unless it gets pre-sold and delayed.
Yeah, then shame on them. But hopefully Capcom's been pretty good with the RE games. They've been doing pretty well. And also, from the mind behind the original Dead Space, there is the Callisto Protocol, which has an official release date now, which is very exciting.
Does it?
Yeah, it's coming out the 2nd of December of this year.
I'll be watching that.
Yeah, it looks amazing. It's Dead Space, but they're like, well, we can't use any of our original IP, so...
God spoos.
On a live vacuum.
Basically. And I'm a big fan of Dead Space 1 and 2. They're fantastic games, so I'm
shame they never made a third.
Bated breath.
Yeah, I was going to say they were all great.
They really could have done a third one, I think, but it's too bad they never did.
I think it was a little too late to try it. Someone probably would have, pushed them in the wrong direction and something would have gone wrong. We'll just assume that might have happened. That's why we didn't get one.
Other news too. There's the Diablo Immortal that released, which there's been a lot of buzz over for a long time. It's pretty pay to win. But there is some positives out of it, which is just the kind of showcasing what mobile gaming can do. At least it sucks that the market for it and the culture for it is
Exploitative.
Yeah, still pretty gross. But there's been a few companies that are still making games. Relic released Company of Heroes as a premium. It's like I think $12 or $15 for mobile, which I've been meaning to pick up. And some other games are being ported, so they're showing the potential of, like, you know, graphic wise and like playing wise. There's actually like there's potential. It's just we got to kind of beat away the all the exploitative games, and it sucks because they sell so well. But now that regulations are starting to clamp down on a lot of them, hopefully it can kind of lead to, you know, a bit of a middle ground. You know, where maybe there's a free version, but also like you can just flat out buy it, and then you just have what you need, and there's no, you know, incentive to pay more. But you know that's not ever going to fly by
Management, no.
Executives. But if there's regulations involved, then you know it's potential. But at least there are still some companies, like I said, like Company Heroes is out there, and it looks pretty good. The reviews have been pretty good for it.
Yeah.
You know, I was never that big on Company Heroes, but I'm tempted to buy it just because they're not being predatory. Reward the people who are not being predatory.
It sucks because even like I enjoy the game, but it's still like you get so conditioned for mobile games just being free or like $1 or $2. It's like anything over like a $5 to $10 price range just feels like a lot. But you know, as more and more games go that way, it'll, you know, kind of subside a bit, at least hopefully. But
hopefully, one of the tricks I use to rationalize purchases is how many coffees it costs. Like if something costs $10, that's 2 coffees. Will I get more enjoyment out of this than 2 coffees?
Depends on the coffee.
Yes, probably I'll buy it.
Oh, hey, I know what I'm missing. Hold on. Hey, there you go. Now you can see me. Lighting.
Hey, lights. Turns out that's pretty important.
Yeah, it helps a lot for the camera quality. Look at that. It's all crispy now. Okay. The other thing that was in the game news is Stray also has a release date of July 19th this year.
That game looks so adorable.
I'm not interested in it at all, but it does look very cute, and I'm sure Pookie will play it.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I thought you would just like be a cat and roam around the city and like go and do cat stuff. And I was like, oh, I'd throw a couple dollars at that. But it's looking more and more as it gets closer to release, like it's more a not so much a free roaming, but more in the style of point and click adventure style game, which is not really my jam.
My thing either. It does look adorable though, and it's nice to see an evolution take on the point and click adventure genre, which really hasn't changed since the 80s.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Like they're exactly the same as they used to be, except you don't need as much of a strategy guide anymore. There's a little more logic to them.
Yeah, a little less moon logic, a little more earth logic.
All right.
There's also one last thing. There's the Tarkov Arena announcement.
Oh yes, yes.
Pretty big news. Kind of neat. They're working on something else. Like they say, they announced it's going to be PvP and PvE modes, but I'm wondering if they're going to do the traditional mixed, or if there's actually going to be a, you know, group versus NPC group, because that'd be kind of a neat direction for them to do. Because they say it's not just deathmatch. From the trailer they showed, it looked kind of just like your traditional kind of deathmatch. Yeah, it's like a deathmatch, your traditional fun, which is cool and neat because I've wanted a mode like that for a long time, because that's one of the hardest parts of Tarkov is that I don't really like how the guns feel, and it's so hard to practice the guns and mechanics besides just offline mode against other players, because most of the time you kind of just get head-eyed or like something happens. You like the time you're actually fighting is very, very short, so it's hard to get familiar with the actual systems and mechanics and shooting and stuff in the game. But if there's just a mode that's just dedicated to just, you know, even if it was deathmatch or other stuff like that, it's going to be kind of nice to have that, to go and do that without, you know, risking an entire loadout or spending 20 minutes building a kit to hopefully fight someone, and then you just get, you know, cheesed.
Yep. I watched exactly that happen last night to Needlac in Factory, going full Chad with Alton and full body armor, and turns one corner and one bullet, head eyes dead.
He got really lucky on another encounter. The APM shot from the enemy hit him in the chest rather than in the head. Still just about killed him. APM good bullet, but yeah, that would have been round ender right there if it had hit him in the head.
Yeah, it happens very, 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 very quickly. That's why I've been enjoying single player Tarkov, because I can set up a kit the way I want it to practice with, and then whenever I die, just kill the server and relaunch the server and don't lose anything, and can just keep practicing without a whole lot of time to reset up the kit and re-add everything. That's nice. It's a little bit more free experience. All right.
Yeah, it's a good way to learn the game.
Alrighty. With our newsy news out of the way, let's make a character.
Yeah.
We have some stuff to discuss first, like what do we want to test as a starting experience value?
So I'm looking at our assigned plus buy plan that we had. So we had initially suggested 1 primary stat and 2 secondaries, which you would be able to assign.
Yeah, that was when we were playing with a point buy plus assign. We ended up going just point buy right from the get-go. And I agree with that change. So really the only thing we need to decide on what we want to test is starting XP value. We do have the no stat / magic can start over 3. That's definitely still a rule. I think it gets too jank.
I would say no value can start over 3, because if you can start at rank 5 in a skill,
you can't,
you
because
be
it's
able
tied to
anyway,
the stat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that, but calling it out might be helpful. The values that we were looking at for point buy were 15 to 20. So maybe we try with 15, see how much power.
We eventually set 100 XP per point, and that's what we had been going with on everything. And just flat across the board. So I would say 100 XP cost per point in anything. I need to add a toggle for magic.
Also need to add perks and flaws.
Yeah. Let's... data validation. No, cancel that. Checkbox. Save. There we go. 300 XP. Just like that.
Yeah.
Magic costs 300 XP. Add XP cost grid. I'm going to add a little to-do down here for the sheet. Add HP. Add HP. Add armor. We can add those in here. Expand this out to fill out the area above magic.
Also need mana if you are magical.
Add
and mana reserved.
/reserve. HP /total. And can read out the exact same way. Well, I guess not.
Yeah, it's not quite the same thing. So it would have to be mana available total and then reserved, or mana available reserved and then total.
Mana /total. Add mana reserved. This is why I wanted to get a base started first, because it does take modifications. For add perks /flaws. Get raided by maniacs. Howdy, Scornful.
Maniac is a 0.
Ooh. Ooh, that's a good game. I like that one. Welcome, Scornful and Raiders. We are just in the process of finishing off the template I started.
Turns out there's a lot of data. And we need spots to put it all.
No limit to perks/flaws. Really? It's still... Everything should be aligned left.
I mean, it fixed itself once you went out of the...
Yeah, well, when you put the 4 dot space, it automatically left aligns. Little tricks. Looking good so far. Well, thank you. Thank you. I try. Starting XP total 1,000 for now?
We were looking at 15.
Okay, 1,500 and 1,000 were the two that I wanted to test, so we can start at 15.
I would rather have OP characters, and then we can adjust the starting XP rather than just feeling completely ineffectual and then going, yeah, okay, that needs a buff.
I completely agree. Completely agree. And since we're limited to 300, you're going to get a few good points here and there and some skills. And while I do this, I'm going to need... Why are you so...
But we also need a box for movement. You need to record your speed so you don't have to recalculate it every time you need to use it.
Absolutely.
Although that could be automated as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it is just a formula.
Automate. I am the automate. HP. Do I want to shrink these boxes some?
I mean, leave it with enough space that you could write it out manually if you needed to. So, bigger box is not necessarily bad.
Yeah, I just like making everything look right. Do. Border. I'll even add the middle line. We always have a set total. That doesn't change, right? So
yeah, the total is always 20.
None. Bam. And this one will right align. There we go. Yeah, I like that. And this value just changes.
Nice.
No. Bad. Thank you. Thinking these should come down to 18.
How do we represent the reservation, though?
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm thinking about right now. Oh, no. Bad. Yeah. And I wonder if I can actually tally how many of these are checked.
I'd imagine you'd be able to.
And then I can just set this value to however many are checked. Because each one is worth 1 MP. No, you can't do that because I think we can modify MP as well, can't we? Can we just buy MP or is it straight? We'll have to discuss that.
It's just stats. What we have written so far is just stats.
That's interesting because it works out that if you have all your mental stats filled, you have 20 HP and 20 mana.
No. Well, it's just ranks in Magic, I think is what it is. I'm going to look at the sheet.
It's mental stats that was doing it originally.
Magic system. Do 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 do. Control F mana. Apparently it's not in there.
Might be stats.
Check stats. Mana. Nope. Did we call it MP?
So do we want armor to just be light, medium, heavy with only 3 values, or do we want to use those just as values to roughly gauge an armor and then have it be a whole range of values between?
I like just a discrete. You are light, medium, or heavy.
Okay. I can still do this all as a merged cell, actually. Data validation. List of items.
So we didn't actually write down our mana calculation anywhere.
Is it light
So
20,
there's-
medium 15, heavy 10 for armor?
I believe so. That was at the bottom of a page. Yes, light, medium, 20 max, or light 20 max, 15 max for medium, and 10 max for heavy.
Okay.
So
There we go.
it works out to being functionally the same, but it costs more if we use number of points in School of Magic.
So
determine.
what do we want to... you know what? I kind of like the idea of using the School of Magic for the MP.
Yeah, I like that as well.
It makes more sense because then you need to be magically awakened and putting points into this to get your MP.
Yeah, and that way you can't have MP despite not being a magically awakened character.
Okay, got that. I'll add it beside.
Yeah, I guess for now.
Easy to move things.
I feel like there's probably a better way to represent that, but for now, whatever.
Yeah, because you'll have to... I'll figure something out. I don't like it, but I'll figure something out. We got armor, mana total, mana reserved. I'm going to add a make better note. Hey. 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 There. Speed. Do you have the calculation for speed there handy?
I've got it in one of these sheets. Speed, not that one. Speed, not that one. Speed, not that one.
Is it here? Nope. Is it here? Nope. Is it here?
Here it is.
Nope.
It is base of 20 feet plus 2 times strength plus precision.
Equals 20 plus... Oh, plus strength plus precision. Okay.
So we would need to figure out a way to hook it up to those checkboxes
Yeah.
to figure out
Which I can
how
do.
much you actually need.
Speed equals 20 plus strength plus precision.
20 plus 2 times strength plus precision.
Okay. It's still not hard to do, but I have to actually do it. And perks and flaws.
Which is just a
probably
table
go
that
right
you can
here.
write stuff into.
Yep.
Oh, stretch.
All right, so at the very beginning, you can go 1500 for the start. We can have that value in there, make it nice and easy. Reserved, okay. That's 24. Let's jack it up to 24 here as well. Perks plus flaws. And then this is all going to be 18. Yeah, 18, 18, 18, 18. Perfect. And this is just a chunk. Chonk. Chonk. Make this whole area like that. Okay. Chonk. 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 And I think we're just about ready here now.
Have we taken a look at doing NPCs? Because they won't need all of this information.
We have not yet.
I think one of the characters that we should start with in order to sort of understand the flow of creating a character is an NPC. Maybe start with the sandwich as... I
was going to make it as a PC. I'd like to just test the PC. I would like to just test the PC making process for a bit, because once we do that, I'm just going to like...
chop chunks out of it and be like,
it's
done.
An NPC! Yeah, because it'll be a quick, because you'll need to know like strength, precision, and some basic combat skills, but out of combat skills and perks and flaws, everything from like here down isn't needed for NPC basically. NPC will just be this little top grid at this point, and that's kind of simple and easy.
Yeah.
All right.
Shall we make a character?
I'm going to data validation this one. Numbers between -10 and 20. There we go. Now it tells you if your HP is out of range. Perfect. I like data validation. 1500, so let's go ahead and go click. We're making a magic character. 300 right there. This is a sandwich.
We are editing the template right now.
Shut up.
I just had that realization.
Shut up.
Got it early.
Created characters. I'm going to delete that. Oh, no, I'm going to delete that too. Sorry, Rage.
Rip.
Make a new copy. Wow. Move. Sandwich. Okay, so we know the sandwich has to be magical. Magic is now on by default in the
creator, which we may go toggle later.
I already fixed it.
Toggle that right now.
I already did.
No, you already toggled it.
So we go down to 1200 to make magic. And we need sand, right? So matter.
Definitely matter.
So that's 100 points.
And
200
that means
points.
we need...
And we do want to go all the way to create?
We definitely want create.
6.
Which is rank 4. But this will not be a level 1 character.
Well, we're testing the actual creation process. So to create the witch, we're just going to have to go to 3 for now. And then that's also to wisdom. So that goes like that.
So that would be our primary, which would get... Or no, we're not doing the assign anymore.
Correct.
So that would just
we're
be
just
all of it.
Spending points for now. So now we need to get perks and flaws and stuff in order to... Or flaws in order to go farther. So... A 3 and turning magic on is the full 1500. Do we want more to start?
It feels like yes, unless we're talking, unless we really fill out the perks and flaws, I think.
Yeah, and you can abuse perks and flaws to get a lot of extra stuff, but you don't... Do you want to be pigeonholed into it? I'd like to hear what chat thinks too on that. Where, ideally you should be having 1 or 2 things. We have no skills at all. And skills are going to be important. No combat skills for additional casting. Really, you're not very useful at this point. Does that mean that maybe it's not worth taking the 3? Because that's going to give you an extra 300 back. And that would let you do 1, and take rank 1 of a skill. That still feels pretty light.
That still feels extremely weak.
I'm thinking with the 300 max, maybe we should try 2500.
Let's take a look at 3000 just because it's a nice round number.
Okay. I have to pee really bad.
Let me pop open the sandwich.
Oh, right. You can edit the sheet and they'll see it. Thank you, Google Drive. I will be right back. I forgot about... It's been so long since I streamed. I forgot how streaming works.
So since we've got the 3000 and we would definitely want 4 in each of these for the sandwich, then that would take us down to 900, 1800. That's all of it. That's actually all of it. Holy shit. Okay, but you can't go to 4 on creation anyway. So 900 is 3000 minus 1800, which puts us at math 1200. Minus 300 for magically awakened. That still seems like not a lot. Because for the sandwich, you would probably want 1 rank of life magic, which is 200 points. And ideally, you would want update force and energy as well, but that's expensive. What do you think? Would the sandwich be high appeal, Pseudo?
I don't know. Sand isn't always that appealing. If it's more
rough and irritating, it gets everywhere. And the combat skills we don't really need for the sandwich because the sandwich is all magic. But based on our speed and initiative calculations, you would probably want some in strength and precision. So for our initiative roll or initiative value, it's currently just strength plus precision. Then would we want a couple of points in those? I think yes. Probably more precision than strength to be on brand. But the cheapest way to get it is to get one in each. That brings us down to 500.
Definitely think having at least one in those is going to be important because, you know, magic is strong, but it's often slow. It's not that strong to begin with. You want to be useful still at the beginning. So you're going to have to, use a ranged weapon or something at the start.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about how physical armor and magic might interact with each other because, there's that classic stereotype of mages not being able to wear armor. It's often a balancing thing.
Yeah, I would like to try to not do that because it's a very gamey mechanic. It's something that is very much like, yeah, this is here for balance reasons.
I did like the explanation that D&D came up with where the metal blocks arcane magic. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
we can go with that.
Neat enough. But at the same time, the mechanic, because we have separate physical and magical armor. Oh, we should probably put a magic armor box. Because we have those as two discrete things, and your physical armor can have magical armor attached to it. Like, I don't know that really makes a ton of sense, because the only thing that impedes your ability to cast would be a disruptive magic armor.
Yeah. And I believe magic armor does make it harder for you to cast in our rules.
Yes.
Trying to cast, so it's a give and take. It seems like things are weighted heavily against physical, but the way physical armor works, you can still stab someone to death pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, the game has become more about not getting hit and approaching a situation. We made Tarkov.
we made Shadowrun, but with less rules.
Yeah, pretty much. It does engage and interact the same way, but you can play it more easily. Which is really what we've always wanted. We made the game we've always wanted. That's what we made. Go figure.
It turns out when we were like, we should make a game, we made a game we wanted to play.
Yeah. Okay. Magic systems. Yeah.
Let's take a look at the combat skills.
That's exactly where I'm going to.
Appropriate for the sandwich.
So we can take parry rank 1, dodge rank 1. Dodge rank 1 probably good to have.
For the sandwich, dodge rank 1 would definitely be good.
You can take off 100. Melee attack, ranged attack allows you to add the... Okay, those are the definition. No. So how does melee and ranged proficiency work? They're skills. We agreed.
They're skills.
Is it just melee attack, or it was specific weapon grouping, right?
We thought about doing weapon grouping and then decided it was too much XP cost. Because magic would have been way cheaper than learning how to use two different kinds of weapon to a semi-proficient level.
I think we should break it up into one hand, two hand, dual wield.
What do I think about that? One hand, two hand, dual wield ranged
Yeah.
would be the same as the schools of magic. It would be the same cost minus the 300 up front to become magically awakened in the first place. It initially strikes me as I want it to be cheaper to get into melee combat than it is to get into magical combat. But I think it's also fine because you're just picking like the style that you want to use. Sword and board, big stompy, or quick and stabby.
Yeah, like it's not very often you're going to want to mix and match them.
Yeah.
As much as you want to mix and match the magics to make them more usable, which gives you more points. We can always up the cost of magical activation as well, up to like 500. Now that we've put the total up to 3,000.
We could. That's a lot.
It's just shy of how much it costs to put 3 ranks into something.
Oh, I did some math wrong then. I just realized. Because I was calculating rank 3 matter as 900 points rather than 600.
Yeah, it's 600.
So it should be an additional 600 points on the XP bar right now.
6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 1900. Yeah, so you should have 1100 left. Oh, 1,000 left because of the combat skill as well.
Yeah.
That was really easy to calculate.
Yeah, I like the checkboxes a lot. The checkboxes are very clean.
So I need to add checkboxes for melee forms. Not necessarily melee.
Physical combat forms.
Is combat. That's what I was trying to change it to. Phi combat's good enough. I know what Phi combat is. Doesn't have to be perfect, just has to be enough so I know it. I can probably shrink the perks and flaws. Add. I can move this up.
I think if we make HP and mana side by side up at the top, and then armor and speed underneath, that'll give us room.
That looks like ass, but I'll fix it as I go. I should probably be making these changes on the... I'm going to update the template. I'm going to update the template while you work on this alpha sheet.
Okay, so let's take a look at a combat turn. Let's see what other combat skills we need. We've got our defensive ability. We've got dodge. We've got the ability to use our main action, which is our magic. We've got our movement. We don't actually have that calculated yet, but it's on the sheet. And we've got the ability to use readied items and, inventory. We need space for an inventory and ready slots.
Yep. That will probably be on another page. Maybe we can do ready slots here, but often inventory is its own sheet.
Yeah. And we can just throw that in another tab in the template or something.
Yeah. That was my plan. All right. So armor and speed look like that now.
Also need magic armor accounted for. But that's everything we need for a combat turn. the sandwich is technically combat ready.
Excellent. I'm going to take this whole thing and move it down 1. Go, and this can go here.
Our
Beauty.
skills. So the sandwich will definitely want tumbling because they'll want to throw pocket sand and then roll, or roll and then throw pocket sand.
I love the idea of tactical pocket sand.
So that's precision, and it can be max of rank 1. Let's spend on that.
My problem here is there's actually 5 physical combat forms.
Oh, really?
Yep, because you reminded me of Sword and Board.
I consider that part of one hand.
One hand and Sword and Board are definitely different things. That's okay. I'm making it fit. 2-hand.
Yeah, but now it doesn't match magic anymore.
That's okay.
No, that's not okay. I am totally not okay with that.
That's why magic shields. 1 plus shield.
The sandwich will definitely want flash cast, which is knowledge.
See, this is when magic starts becoming expensive, where you're like, I want these skills and that skills, and oh, I need a lot of knowledge stats, or not a lot of mental stats to do this. You got to be smart to do good magics.
I think spending for 2 is worth it here. So in 2 in each is 100, 200, 100, 200, which is 600 total, which puts us at 300. And definitely want AoE casting, which is resolve. And we can get 1 rank in that for cheap. Then we have 200 points left over. So then if we take a flaw to get an additional 100 points, we can get that. No, 200 points. We can get that AoE casting up to resolve, and AoE casting up to rank 2. Let's go back to our character creator, and look at our flaws. Kleptomaniac is exactly 200, which is a nice round number, but not really on brand. Vindictive is good. That would be plus 50. And frail, which doesn't matter because they're all about magic and running away, is 150. So vindictive and frail would be good choices. Vindictive and frail puts us back up to 400. which lets us get rank 2 in both resolve and AoE casting, and puts us at 0.
That looks like a pretty decent character to start with.
Very weak from a physical perspective, but actually quite strong magically.
Yeah.
The one thing that it really needs is create matter.
Which
to be able to just be like, hacha sand!
But that's definitely a later on thing, and their first 400 experience will go to that probably.
Yeah.
This is a nice, like, usable, not useless, and lots of room to grow.
And you can still, like, prepare, transform matter with flash cast, and then boom, your enemy's in a sand pit.
Yeah. Start with 4 MP. Have room to grow into 7 MP fairly easily. You can get another MP point real cheap from Force Energy.
Yeah, and if you... It would cost, what? 100, 200, 200, 500 XP to get another 3 points.
Yeah. And 1 MP is pretty strong in our system, remember.
In an update spell is 3 MP.
Yeah. So you're going to be able to do 1
So they would only
update
have
per rest right now.
one update per rest,
meditate.
which is... Honestly, it makes her kind of useless.
There's a lot of sensing matter and detecting matter. Like we said, the early stages of a magician are very much investigative.
So let's look at this from a player perspective rather than a system perspective. What would we need to do to make this player feel like it's worth going a mage for the first extra 1,000 XP that you earn? Because that's 10 levels.
Well, I don't think 100 XP is a level, but yeah, definitely a 10 single points worth. But I don't think it should necessarily be super worth it at the beginning, because it is going to be super worth it at the end. And we do want the balance of an early game physical character will monster an early game caster. Unless they end up in a sand pit. Which is totally possible right now. And then there's a lot you can do with 3 matter. Even if you can only do it once in a pinch, there's a lot you can do to change a fight.
So the thing that is, in my opinion, holding this character back from being super fun is mana. Because, like, only getting to do one cast, you only get to do your thing once per combat without having to chug potions the whole time.
So if we go back to what I said originally and make it mental stats.
The thing that I don't like about that is it allows unawakened characters to use engraved items.
We could always have a caveat rule where you don't have MP until magic is active, though it's a caveat, and we don't have any caveats right now. it would be the only one in the game.
Yeah, which I mean is not the worst thing in the world, but it's also not quite as clean.
Could be a disadvantage if they try and use it. Penalty or some sort of risk factor.
Like you have to beat some sort of check in order to have it actually do its thing.
Yeah, like maybe it's not a complete on-off switch. Like maybe in a pinch, someone could try and use it, but it's going to be like a risky thing. You wouldn't just try to use it for the sake of using it, but pick it up and try and do something with it. It just might go bad for you.
Maybe. An easy way to give you more than one cast, would it just be make it 2 mana per point?
I was thinking of that too. I was about to ask, is 40 MP at the end game too much? But are you going to get 5 in all of them anyway? Like if you do get 5 in all of them, you've reached the point where your character is about to retire.
Yeah, your character is basically a god. If you've got 5 in all of them. It's 1500 XP to cap out. No, wait, math. 100, 200 is 300. 300 is 600. 400 is 1,000. 500 is 1,500. Yeah, so it's 1,500 XP to cap out one magical stat. Times 4 is 6,000. Times 2, because you also need the stats to go along with it, is 12,000.
You've gained a lot of experience by that point, and you've put nothing into physical or skills or.
Yeah, that's just magic.
Yeah.
You can only cast within 10 meters and for 1 square.
MP equals total points in magic times 2. I'm totally fine with that. That would give her 8 mana. She would be able to do 2 conversions per rest and then something minor. A couple sense lives or something.
Yeah, which I think is enough that your spells feel valuable, but you can actually do more than one thing per combat.
Welcome,
Carrie, how's it going?
I mean, you're not wrong. I was going to say
DevOps to fix it. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that mana calculation. And I think now that we've given them 2 points per magical stat or per magical rank, then it gives them a lot more flexibility to do things during an engagement. They still won't be nearly as effective as a low-level physical character, but they can do things.
Yeah. So if you want, I'm going to quickly swap this over now. This is where I'm at now. What do you think?
Did the sword and shield? I know in practical terms, fighting with a shield is not the same as just fighting with one-handed weapon. I am aware of that. It breaks the nice symmetry.
A little bit, I agree, but like we said, you're only going to use 1 or 2 of them max usually. And I'm pretty firm on them not being the same skill.
Oh, and I'm aware. I am fully in agreement that realistically, fighting with a weapon and a shield is very different than fighting with just a weapon.
And it doesn't have this little box on it, so there's no symmetry. Bugging me.
Hmm. Yeah, I guess.
I moved it all down, so now we've got under the name, age, experience, height, weight, then armor, magic armor, speed, HP, mana, and reserved. Little cube right there.
Yeah, I like that layout a lot better. Do we want to have readied items available on your main sheet?
I don't think we need it. I think a checkbox on your item sheet for it to be readied is enough.
It does also rely on a piece of equipment, which is not on this sheet. So I think that's fine, question mark?
Well, how is the readying working, right? We're going to ready it by having it in like a quick slot?
Yeah, it's either in your hand or it's on your belt.
I think it's fine on the item page, since you'll be referring to the item page for what items you have, and if it's readied, you probably have it in your mind already. It's not like you're going to have a fucking bat utility belt.
I mean, you say that, but I'm like, my mage character or my mage killer is definitely going to need a fuckload of readied items.
If every item on the bat utility belt was actually on a belt ready to be grabbed, the guy wouldn't be able to walk. Every time he'd take a step, it would just be like jingle jangle of shit fucking in front of him. It would make like a utility skirt.
Utility skirt
Just
plus
great.
bandolier.
Belt combo. You have a belt combo on, it's fine.
But except all around your waist.
The waist combo. Yes. I think it's, I mean, I have to make mana reserved potentially better. Right now we have a value, and then how much is reserved. I'm sure we can think of something better. And I have to automate movement to learn, so I have to figure out how to calculate how many checkboxes are on or off. Add one to these for the 20 plus 2 times. But other than that, I think this is enough to actually start with.
Yeah, I think so.
Cost of grid. Yeah. What does add XP cost to grid mean?
Where's that note?
Rate where magic costs 300 XP. I think it was talking about adding a checkbox for it, which I already did instantly. Perks and flaws at 1500 is now 3000, which ended up being much more nice. Magic times 2. Ah! Magic times 2. Speed. Everything else is 100 per point. Yeah. Cool. That's a working character sheet now. Alrighty.
So just as a little thought experiment about progression, going up in ranks gets more expensive, but by the time you're needing those higher ranks, you're probably going to be doing bigger and better things, which will get you more XP. The combat skills. Do we want unarmed? I want unarmed. I want a punchy boy.
Who wield your fists? Equipped your own fist? By closing it? Haha.
I mean, there's room. I can easily just go like that.
Yeah, just bump that up one and add unarmed.
Now we've really broken your...
Yeah, the symmetry is long gone at this point.
No more symmetry! Load it with skills! Yes. We don't really have any rules for unarmed damage. I guess it would just be the normal damage calculations, and you don't get the base bonus from the weapon.
Yep, but you're able to rank it up so that you can get more abilities out of the skill, and you can get a higher bonus to unarmed. You'll never be as effective as a weapon, but you will become more effective.
You'll never be as effective as a weapon, but you're never without a weapon.
Yeah.
Which is really what unarmed combat is all about. And if you were to take the skills in like parry and stuff like that, you could be pretty fucking badass parrying things unarmed.
Yeah, that's I'm glad I thought of that, because the mage killer, he uses a knife, what is effectively a shotgun, and his fists. So those are the three things.
So one-handed, ranged, and unarmed.
Yep.
That's quite the assortment. See, for me, I'd probably just go all two-handed. Just put them all into it.
That is the most effective way to do it, for sure.
That's my ideal build. That's what Zug Zug is. He's just all two-handed and strength. Although he had a crap ton of fortitude and precision as well. Crap ton. Metric crap ton of fortitude on his character. In our game's systems, he had 10 fortitude. Actually,
he literally survived a nuke.
In Celasta, my half-orc that I made after Zug Zug is up to 23 strength without any magical items on him.
It's a couple. It's a couple strength.
He's strong.
Okay, chat. Did we miss anything? Is there anything that you would want to be able to do with your character?
I think it's there. So I'm gonna make Zug Zug.
Cool. Let's put the inventory and equipment together.
Okay.
Let's finish this.
What does inventory need? Item. Location.
Item, readied, and amount. Or quantity, I guess. Because we haven't done any considerations for the weight of items, which we can add in the hardcore expansion.
Yeah, nobody wants to worry about how heavy their items are. Never have I ever seen a system where like, yay, item weight! It's just not a good thing. Perfect, they were already merged.
And how do we want to deal with equipment?
I will take care of that in a moment. Once we start outlining it, it'll be pretty clear how we want it almost every time. So here we're going to add a data validation checkbox. Cell values. Oh. Oh, there we go, and then I can just get the value that way if I apply that to the other one for speed and stuff like that, magic points. That's what I need to do. Just do that. But this one doesn't need custom values. We will round them. Okay, this needs to be merged together, and that's about it.
And then copy paste a bunch of times.
That's big items. The duplication method was definitely the way to go there.
Yep. So then equipment. I think we will need, because you can have more things than you have like in your hands. You could have
if it's not
a
in your
gun and a knife at the same time.
So do we... Okay, so the items is just items, and this will be just equipment, so we can do an equipped first.
Yeah.
The same manner. And that will be our checkbox. Just because I love using checkboxes.
Checkboxes are real handy.
I guess really it's exactly the same as here from there. Equipped item location.
Do we need location?
Yeah. Left hand, right hand, both hands.
What if, so location, I think, I understand what you're getting at. I think location is not a good word for it, for equipment. Maybe something along the vein of class, because it could be armor, it could be two-hand, it could be one-hand, it could be ranged.
And then, yeah, I guess you just have an understanding that it's in your bag if it's not equipped.
Yeah.
Type?
Yeah, type works. And we will need quantity for special ammos at the very least.
Works for throwing axes and stuff too.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do. There we go. Don't need nearly as many of these.
Nice.
Yeah. Rename. Inventory. Rename core stats. Yeah. All right. Now, make a copy. Rename Zug. Excellent. Welcome. Welcome, Zug. So if I'm making Zug Zug freight off, that's 6. That's 6. That's 3. It's 1,500. $700 left. He was pretty good with influence. We're probably going to want some skills. We're going to want some combat skills. We're definitely going to end up with some... he was vindictive. Super nice guy, just don't piss him off. I would like...
Easier said than done.
I would,
You looked at me funny.
let's bold this. Yeah, there we go. That's what it's missing. Think. That helps.
Yeah, a little more visual weight.
Let me do that on the
The
template real quick. As soon as I put the vindictive under perks and flaws, I immediately went, oh, that blends in.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Done and done. Definitely not magically active. In fact, that was the whole point of Zug Zug. He started with masterwork magical axes. And the stipulation was that I paid the price of normal axes. I just wanted to make them super fancy. They didn't do anything special. And the GM said okay, and then the GM made it they don't do anything special for him because his character was so stupid he would never understand what a magical item was. And this is how I got my my villain. He was after my axes, and they were passed down through my family, so like hell I was letting go of them. What was vindictive?
50.
Plus 50?
Yeah.
That's not going to do me much, but I will have to take more. Okay, let's go combat. Melee attack. We got two-handed, so that's the ability to attack and move at the same time. Now you can run by with a two-hander.
Which is strong.
Yep. Oh. Pizza's being ordered.
Ooh. I had pizza yesterday. It was
Nice.
very salty.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah,
Did
it
it
was
make
very
you salty?
tasty. No, it just made
Okay.
me thirsty.
Whip skills. I guess combat system is where the combat skills are, isn't it? So strength is parry. So let's put 1 in that. He can do the thing. That's all he needs to start with. Fortitude is blocking.
Blocking
we're not
doesn't
too-
seem like a very Zug thing to do.
You can block with an axe.
Yeah, but he wouldn't.
Dodge is another
Also not
one.
very Zug.
Actually, Zug Zug was extremely dexterous. Extremely. So that's another point off. He's already become a fairly deadly machine here, just with those points. Swimming is fort precision. 1 rank. Is there a darker? There's no like double. Oh wait, I can. There we go. That'll help. Yeah. Okay. I'll have to remember to go back and do that.
On the template.
Yeah. That helps a lot. Nope. That one. Yeah, darker lines help a lot. A lot. Okay. Note to self. Darken lines on template. And the swimming I didn't take the points off for yet. That's 450. No engineering. Give him point of influence. Take intimidate, which is influence first, then appeal. Rank. Did I take the point off for that?
I don't know, I wasn't looking.
6, 12, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. $26 plus, so that'd be 4. I should be at 450.
So I guess yes.
No, I went too far. 6, 12, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Yeah, leaving 400 and then plus 50. We good there. I'm at 450 still. What? Now let's take a look at... I'm honestly pretty happy with this. This is a very, very competent fighting character, and you could go a lot deeper into skills and less into fighting to make a rogue pretty easily.
Yep.
We should try making a rogue next.
Well, my mage killer is essentially a rogue.
Yeah, I'll let you make that next. Combat turn, movement, armor. What am I looking for? I'm looking for perks and flaws. They're in skills? No.
They're in character creation.
Thank you. I need... What would I like to put up?
Hard to kill is very Zug. Quick healer is very Zug, but you'd need a lot of flaws for that. Literal is very Zug. That gets you 100.
Yeah, literal was based on Zug. That's where it came from. Thank you, Justin. That was the name of my GM at the time. He made an amazing experience. And
Gullible, perhaps?
We have poor communicator and literal. Oh, takes things, yeah. That's very much Zug as well. He was a simple tool. Very simple tool. Oh, and he was language inept.
Which gets you that extra 50 to put you up to 300.
And with that, we're going to take an extra point in parry. And we can spend 100. Well, hard to kill is 200, huh? Well, screw parry.
There's also hardy, which is just 2 flat DR.
How much is that one? Where is it?
250. It's the fourth one down.
I'd need another 150 for that, huh?
I mean, Gullible gets you 150, and Zug wasn't exactly a
punchable,
a talking guy.
Gullible. Where is it? Oh, right there. Yep. It's 350. Hardy. Down to 100. And then with the last one, I'm going to go sense of direction. Puts him at 25. So I like it. I want to play him. It defines the character very well in the perks and flaws. I think the perks and flaws that we have help make a character's personality and guidance much better than the alignment system of D20.
Yeah, definitely better than the alignment system. I think we'll need to flesh it out some more.
Yep, definitely.
But we just kind of ran out of ideas when we were making it.
Yeah, and time. I'd like to make the perk and flaw area more clear. So down here, I'm going to add...
make it into 2 columns.
Separate perks and flaws. Yeah, exactly what I was thinking. Have them be their own areas. And maybe have a short add description area for perks/flaws. So that we can have a little note of what they do.
Oh, that reminds me. We need that for equipment. At the very least.
Add notes to equipment.
We have the concept of a weapon having a primary stat. Like a dagger is a precision weapon and a mace is a strength weapon sort of deal.
Add stat reliance to equipment/weapons. Don't get hit by Zug Zug.
Yeah, no, bad idea. Don't do that.
A player once insulted me and I knocked his ribcage out of his back. Don't insult vindictive characters. I didn't want to punch him because I knew what was going to happen if I fully punched him because I had been around for a while and he was a new character. But then he insulted me in front of my Johnson.
And you can't have that.
Don't insult someone in front of their Johnson. Age, weight, height, and everything is fine. He would probably be light armored, honestly. Though to work in our system, he would have to be heavy armored. How about heavy armor overflow? Do we really want it to just block anything like a nuclear blast? Does it cap a nuke at 10?
I think that would be a property on the thing that is attacking, not on the armor. Just if it's like a force of nature or a nuke or whatever, it just ignores armor.
Yeah, it's just a GM thing. I also like the idea of having stats like that on armor so you can have AP rounds that ignore armor and whatnot in some settings.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. How about you make your rogue? Mage killer.
Mage killer.
Let me make a copy for you.
Okay, I will let you do that. I will not do it.
Mage killer. And let's move it. Move, yes. Open. Mage killer. And I have to go pee again.
I've been drinking a lot of water. Okay, so Mage Killer. So this character is like all precision. Like all precision.
Precisely
It's
precision.
precisely precision. So we've got 3 points at the very least of precision. We'll see about more than that later. So that puts me down to 2,400. The primary weapon will be his shotgun. It's like a pistol shotgun. It's really cool. which is another 600, which puts me down to 1800. And then our combat skill for precision is dodge. And he's going to want 3 ranks of that. Because he's going to fall over if you so much as breathe on him. And then for perks and flaws, we're definitely going to want Lone Wolf, which is plus 300, I believe. Plus 250. This is 1450. He is magic immune, which is minus 300. Nope, that's not how math works. He is an athlete, which I believe costs 200. Yes. Well, that's the sandwich. I don't need that open anymore. He is... What else? What else is he? There was something else in here that I wanted. Where did it go? Sneaky. That's what I wanted.
Sneaky, sneaky.
So that leaves me at 750.
You've spent just over 2/3, and you've got the core. You're really focusing on the perks, which is a good idea, actually. You'll have less stats once the game gets going, but perks and flaws are usually only character creation stuff.
Perks are very powerful. Oh, and he needs fast reflexes too, which is fortunately cheap. 650 fast reflexes. And what other flaws can I take to round out a bit?
Is it just me, or does this already seem like a pen and paper game?
Definitely seems like a pen and paper game to me. The only thing that really fits would be frail. That's only plus 150, so I guess I'll see if I need that.
I like that you're doing it this way. It's a nice example of how to do perks and flaws. Make them fit. Make them make sense first. Don't just throw them on to throw them on. Don't min-max it entirely. Make a personality out of your character. It's going to be way more fun to play.
And he definitely needs some points in appeal. So we'll go with 550 or just 1 rank in appeal for now. And then if we go back over to our skills, whichever one that was in. Here it is. He doesn't do inscription or engraving, but he uses inscribed items. Inscripted. Definitely composure, which is resolve. So we need that for
to
100.
use inscribed items. Don't you need magical activation?
No, only
engraved. Engraved. Yes. Okay. Memoring.
Resolve, rank 1, which is another 100 points. Definitely tumbling. Which is just precision. I want rank 2, but that's all of my points. So for now, we're just going to put 1.
That's easy to level up in the future and gives you a nice immediate goal. Makes those first couple hundred experience feel real valuable. Like, yes, I'm getting that thing I wanted.
Yeah. And I think I'm going to want 1 strength for the additional initiative.
You might want to take a couple more skills. I don't know if you want any sleight of hand or anything like that. I don't know if you want
one of the things that I was
type
looking
things.
at was intimidate.
Mm-hmm.
Be able to throw the mage off their game, so to speak.
Pizza here. Oops, sorry, Mike.
Nom nom pizza.
Nom pizzas.
And intimidate, I believe, is influence. So that would cost me 200 points to get that. Yeah, influence and appeal.
You have appeal already.
I do have appeal already, but it's a secondary.
Yep.
So I would need 1 influence to get a rank in intimidate.
Oh, yes. Wait, no. You can only have it up to the rank, but then the skill. Right, okay. Yeah. So if your appeal was higher than your influence, then you would be able to use it.
Yes.
I like that system. I keep forgetting about it, but I like that system.
And I'm going to have to take Frail to get an additional 150 XP.
Giving you 300.
Which will allow me to get my 1 rank in influence and intimidate. And secondary appeal. Which costs 200, which puts me at 100. So I have enough for a thing.
A point in unarmed? A point in one-handed?
Now, while he's low level, the primary focus is the shotgun, because that's the weapon that will get the most utility.
Yeah, but 1 point in one of the others means you're not completely inept when you're in range and can't use a shotgun.
We did not put in attacks of opportunity. I would still be able to use my shotgun close range.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like the attack of opportunity idea. I do like it being harder to use a ranged weapon in melee. So we should think of something for that.
Sure. This weapon is a break action pistol. It's basically a flare gun that takes a shotgun shell instead of a flare.
I know the type you're talking about.
So this one is actually intended for short range, but other ones we should definitely look at.
Yeah, I guess in most of the times where it's implemented, it's with bows and crossbows and stuff, and those are large and not easy to use when you're within melee range of a person. A pistol is definitely more of a melee usable weapon.
Yeah, like if it was a long rifle or something, then definitely there should be some sort of penalty to using it in close range.
Yeah. I'd say go with a point of...
grab another...
Oh, what are you going to do?
I was thinking about grabbing another skill.
Yeah.
But a point of fortitude doesn't hurt either, because it offsets the frail, but that's also kind of not really the character.
Yeah, it's also making the points you got out of frail less valuable. You're getting less out of taking frail, and I don't think 1 point of fortitude is as big a buff out of it. I guess you're still getting something. I think it works out, actually.
It actually offsets frail. If I look at our character creation, I think. Because frail is -1 flat DR, +1 from fortitude.
You don't get flat DR from fortitude. Fortitude is just an extra plus to your roll, which isn't flat DR, it's an extra point in the delta calculation. Flat DR would be after delta.
Right. So it would offset it, but not be a negation of it.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably fine to be at 150 for frail.
Yeah. I think we thought of it at the time, too.
I took tumbling already. I took intimidate already. Did I take balance?
There's athlete. You have tumbling and balance. So athlete for 200 points would give you +1 to both of those.
Yeah. So I now have a +2 to balance and tumbling because I took athlete.
Oh, you already have athlete. Never mind.
Yes. This is a nimbly bimbly character.
Yeah. Quick pockets?
Ooh, yeah.
That's 100 points. And you have 100 left.
I would much rather have quick pockets than balance. Balance was my last 100.
Oh.
Quick pockets is combat skills, not regular skills.
It's a perk.
I know it's a perk. That's even more betterer.
Pockets count as item belt.
Because that way I can have even more things ready to go.
Yep. That's what I was thinking. Like, ooh, that's definitely one you want. That's a decent little start. That looks like a pretty fun character.
Very much trying to take advantage of his intimidating lone wolf nature to isolate and then take down based on being faster and more prepared than the enemy.
Excellent. I don't think we have enough time to make another one. So let's give a quick review of where the character sheet ended up. Yeah, let's even bump it up to 1.2. We made enough changes. There's been 2 revisions on it. It's looking much cleaner, much more organized already. Perks and flaws are going to be split up. We have down here, make the mana reserve better, automate the movement. I have already gone into all of these cells off of the stream visually. No formatting.
And added a Boolean value to them.
Yeah. So we have checked and unchecked values. Let me just make sure that it worked. Yes. All of them do now, except for magic here, which doesn't need it. But that will... Why are you green now?
It just is.
How
do we ungreen it? Oh, it's got a custom color applied.
Where?
It
does.
Open the template again.
It still is here. That's custom saved.
Interesting. It's not letting me take it off.
Here we go. It was a conditional formatting rule that got applied somehow.
There we go.
So
what else do we need to do on this sheet? We need to make 2 columns for perks and flaws.
Yep. That's in here. Separate perks and flaws. Add description area for perks and flaws. Add description to equipment. And add stat reliance to equipment and weapons.
Mm-hmm.
This is something we haven't played with much yet. Because we don't really have a lot of items and equipment because there's no specific setting yet.
Yeah, and the one thing that we will need for the items and equipment is starting money. We had the idea of any unspent XP, like just giving you starting currency.
With a base currency, because you assume they're going to spend it all.
Yeah, with the assumption that you're going to be spending all your points, we need to give a base value as well.
Determine starting currency values plus extra for remaining XP. So I'm going to come up with a setting because this went so well that we can test this in. And next week, I will present you guys with a basic setting, and you can make a character each.
Nice.
And then I'll make a little campaign with that setting to test those two characters you make.
Yeah. And while we do that, anybody in chat who is interested in perhaps joining in, if you can make an interesting character, then and ideally something that we have not already made.
That's the best way to get in.
Out the party. Then you might be able to join as well.
Yeah. If you copy ours, we're probably not going to let it in because the whole point is to diversify testing. So if you want to play with us, do something different, and that's the best way to get in.
Our game asset, the one that we just made characters for.
Yeah. This game, right here. Not there, here. We've made a couple characters. Here's our sandwich. No worries. You can see the evolution of the character sheet. The sandwich character sheet is kind of a mess. But it was a really nice test. And then I made my favorite warrior, Zug Zug, who just smashies things and influences people. He was very influential. In fact, he owned multiple businesses. He named Zug Zug Cars and Zug Zug Bikes.
Not the most creative, just very influential.
Yeah, I used to buy cars that were repossessed by the police because I had contacts in the police department, and they would just hand off the stuff that they got to me because I was famous in Zug Zug and they loved Zug Zug and I helped them all the time, and then I would resell all their stuff for massive profits in my stores because I didn't pay anything for them. And then the Mage Killer, who definitely takes more advantage of the perks and flaws. It definitely helped highlight what's missing in perks and flaws and stuff. It was helpful. And now, I think is almost pizza time. Do you have any closing words, Pseudo? You've been super quiet. I know you're not feeling amazing.
No, I've just been paying attention.
Paying attention. Okay. So
trying
you
to
like
see it as a... Yeah, I do like... I was trying to... The kind of nice thing about me not feeling well is that I have not a whole lot of memory of the stuff before, so I kind of have a fresh eyes approach to it, and a lot of it seems to make sense. And
silver linings, right?
Yeah. So I've kind of been sitting here like I almost say just kind of like a viewer, but also having my foot in the development side of things, so it's kind of getting the best of both worlds there. So yeah,
excellent.
Nothing really too much to add. It's looking pretty good.
Awesome. Can I do a vote? No, fuck your votes. It's all up to me.
This ain't a democracy.
Democracy of one.
Yep, a democracy of one. I'm going to figure out a fun setting. So probably not something you see all the time. So we can test this out. And when it comes to equipment and inventory, you guys are just going to be like, I want this, and it's just your imagination.
Robbing a Subway that's run by a sandwich. I should use brand names. Robbing a sandwich shop.
Yeah,
Or
a
a
sandwich
deli.
vendor.
A deli.
Or at least use a Canadian one, robbing Mr. Sub. Pretty sure they were Canadian.
Were they? I don't know.
Pretty sure.
I went to one like once, and I was like, "Wow, this is mediocre and less available."
Yeah. Quiznos was the superior one, even with the lack of choice. Almost always. You pay for what you get, though.
You really do.
Quiznos was not cheap. I'm sorry, all I can think of at this point is I want to eat my pizza. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm
guys.
getting pretty hungry too.
We made it till almost 6, and we made 3 solid characters and created a pretty good character sheet. I'm glad I got the base, simple core of it done, but I'm glad it got to evolve as we went too, so other people can see what goes into actually making the sheet and the layout and how you're going to make the character. That was nice. And checkboxes rule.
Checkboxes.
Are you
I also
on,
like
on
that
the
you
sheet,
don't.
Pseudo?
Yeah, I'm here.
Are you
And
Anonymous
template.
Frog?
That is most likely me.
Okay. I was like, who the hell is this? All right. So, thanks for joining, even if it was late, Acid. Always love our lurkers. We didn't have a lot of comments. I'm guessing it was a lot of lurking and watching and taking notes and learning. Please make characters if you would like to play. Next week will be your time to shine and earn a spot. I'm going to let you all go nuts with this all week. If you want to get a copy of it, it is right there. Grab that link. You can use that to take a copy of it as many times as you need. And I don't have right on the sheet, so you can't fuck up the template. Don't worry. So I guess
Only we can fuck up the template.
only we, and I did multiple times during this. Don't worry. I'm going to go eat food. I'm going to come back and play hockey until my voice gets sore or until Rage and Pseudo come and make me shoot things.
Seems reasonable.
One of those two things will happen. Most likely. My throat isn't super sore, so I'm just going to test it. I had like a tickle,
cool.
but then it kind of went away. And I'm still talking. So,
Nice.
yeah. Pizza time is the best time. Until next time. Oh, next time will be later. Until later, I'm Deus.
I'm Rage.
And I'm Pseudo.
May all your shots be headshots.